Morning, ma'am. My name is Yuvraj Bajpayee, and now I'm going to present the topic Understanding IP Spoofing. Understanding IP spoofing. As its core, IP spoofing involves the manipulation of Internet Protocol, that is, IP addresses, a fundamental component of digital communication. Every device connected to a network has a unique IP address, which serves as a virtual identifier. And IP spoofing, however, subverts the system by allowing malicious actors to forge or spoof the source ID address of a communication. So, the implications and significance. When we come to implications and significance, the implications of IP spoofing are far reaching and multifaceted by masking the true origin of data packets. Attackers can disguise their identity, making it challenging for security systems to attribute malicious activities accurately. So this technique is often exploited in various cyber attacks, enabling unauthorized access, facilitating data breaches, and contributing to the success of more sophisticated schemes. Why does it matter? So understanding the significance of IP spoofing is crucial for cybersecurity professionals. It's crucial for businessmen and individuals alike, as organizations increasingly rely on digital networks for communication, commerce, and a critical infrastructure. The potential consequences of IP spoofing attacks become more severe. So, from the financial losses to reputational damage, the stakes are high, emphasizing the need for robust defense against these deceptive tactics. Now we come to the key concepts to unravel. The deceptive origins. So IP spoofing allows attacker to cloak their true identity by presenting a falsified source IP address. Second point, disguised communication. So malicious activities such as DDoS, denied service of attack, or unauthorized access can be conducted while appearing to originate from a legitimate source. Third point is challenges in attribution. So traditional methods of attributing actions to specific identities become more challenging when faced with the obfuscation caused by IP spoofing. The digital landscape. So in the ever-evolving digital landscape where connectivity is pervasive, understanding the nuance of IP spoofing is not just a technical necessity but a strategic imperative. As we proceed, we dive further into the working of IP spoofing, examining its mechanics, real-world applications, and the measures employed to detect and prevent such deceptive practices. So, how IP spoofing works. So, as the venture to the mechanic of IP spoofing, we'll uncover the details of deceptive technique, understanding the step-by-step process from the creation of spoof packet to the transmission and the subsequent deception of recipients is crucial for grasping the nuance of the cyber threat. Creating spoof packets. So the first step is an IP spoofing involves the crafty creation of spoof packets. These packets are manipulated to contain a falsified source IP address, which differs from the actual origin of the communication. The skilled attackers use various tools and techniques to generate these packets, essentially masking them or masking their identity by presenting a mislead source. The transmission. Once the spoof packets are created, the next phase involves the strategic transmission across the network. Attackers leverage various means to send these packets, infiltrating the target system or the network. So, this transmission can occur through direct communication with the target or by exploiting vulnerabilities in intermediary system, amplifying the challenge of tracing the true alert. The third point comes here is the deception of recipients. The core objective of IP spoofing is to deceive recipients about the true origin of telecommunication. As the spoof packets reach their destination, they carry the falsified source IP address, leading the recipient system to believe that the data is arriving from a legitimate and a true or a trusted source. So, deceptive tactics enables attackers to bypass security measures that may otherwise flagged or blocked by the communication. So, the nuance to consider technological sophistication. Attackers often employ advanced tools and techniques to generate convincing spoof packets. Dynamic routing is, where routing configurations change dynamically. IP spoofing becomes more challenging to detect. So, understanding the mechanics of IP spoofing underscores a need for advanced cybersecurity measure capable of identifying the things such as deceptive practices. Now we come to some common use cases. So the first use case that we're going through is distributed denial of service attacks. So IP spoofing plays a pivotal role in orchestrating DDoS attacks, one of the most prevalent and disruptive form of cyber assaults. In a typical DDoS scenario, a multitude or compromised device, often forming a bonnet into a target system with an overwhelming volume of traffic to amplify the potency of the attack and evade detection. So this makes it exceedingly challenging for defenders to distinguish legitimate traffic from the malicious ones. The second is man in the middle attack. So spoofing serves, you know, it looks for basically what it does is by employing IP spoofing, the attacker can position themselves between the communication path and masquerading as one of the legitimate parties. So this enables them to eavesdrop on sensitive information, modify the communication, or even inject malicious content into the data flow. The third point that we come to is evasion of security measures. So IP spoofing is frequently utilized as a mean to circumvent security measures such as firewalls and intrusion detection systems. By forging the source IP address in data packets, attackers can make their activities appear as if they originate from the trusted and whitelisted source. This deceptive tactic allowed them to bypass security controls that rely on IP address filtering, gaining unauthorized access to systems, networks, or sensitive data. Now we come to the versatility in cyber threats. So understanding these common use cases underscores the versatility of IP spoofing in the arsenal of cyber threat. Its application extends beyond specific attack types and highlighting its adaptability to various scenarios. So as defenders, it is crucial to be vigilant and implemented the counter moves to detect and predict these tactics. So let's start with intrusion detection system. So intrusion detection system plays a crucial role in monitoring network traffic for unusual patterns that may indicate a potential security threat. So IDS can employ signature-based detection, which involves comparing network data or network traffic to known patterns of malicious behavior. Additionally, anomaly-based detection can identify deviation from normal network behavior. In the context of IP spoofing, IDS can be configured to flag or block traffic exhibiting characteristics consistent with spoof packages. The next topic that we come to is packet filtering. Packet filtering involves analyzing packet headers for inconsistencies that may suggest IP spoofing. So, by scrutinizing source and destination IP addresses, filtering rules can be implemented to drop or flag packets with suspicious characters. Access control lists, that is ACLs in routers and firewalls, are commonly used for packet filtering, allowing organizations to define rules that explicitly permit or deny traffic based on open source and destination address. Encryption. The use of encryption is a fundamental strategy for securing communication channels and mitigating the risk posed by IP spoofing. Implementing protocols like Secure Socket Layer (SSL) or Transport Layer Security, that is TLS, ensures that data transmitted between the parties remain confidential and integral. Even if an attacker successfully spoofs the IP address, the encrypted nature of the communication prevents them from deciphering the content, adding on an additional layer of protection. When we come to anti-spoofing measures, the anti-spoofing measures involve deploying techniques and configurations to filter out packet with illegitimate source address. This can be achieved through implementation of reverse path forwarding that checks, which verifies that incoming packets have a legitimate return path. Ingress and egress filtering at network borders can also help discard packet with source address inconsistent with expected network topology. The strategic implementation. When we come to the first point, it involves a multi-layered approach combining IDS, packet filtering, encryption, and anti-spoofing measures, provides a robust defense against IP spoofing. So each layer contributes to a comprehensive security posture, making it challenging for attackers to bypass all defensive mechanisms. The second point is continuous monitoring. Regularly updating and monitoring these defensive mechanisms are crucial for adapting evolving threats. When we come to the third part. The challenges and limitations. So we move on to the dynamic environments. The challenges in a dynamic environment is the network changes. So in dynamic network environment, where configuration change dynamically, detecting and preventing IP spoofing becomes more challenging. Legitimate changes in network topology, such as load balancing or routing adjustment, can inadvertently mimic the behavior of IP spoofing. Mitigation, regular audits and configuration checks. Conducting regular audits and configuration checks can measure or help in distinguishing the legitimate changes from potential IP spoofing activities. Automated tools that monitor network changes in real time provides an additional layer of defense against the false positive. Incomplete protection. The challenge in incomplete protection is this, despite the implementation of sophisticated detection prevention measures, there is no foolproof solution to completely safeguard against IP spoofing. So the nature of internet, with its open architecture and decentralized structure, introduces inherent vulnerabilities that may be exploited by determined adversaries. Mitigation. When we go to the mitigation part, the risk management and incident response comes to the main shadow. So the organization must adopt a risk management approach and be prepared with robust incident response plans. And we come to the legitimate use. The challenge we face through experimentation, testing, and research, which is basically distinguishing between a benign and malicious intent, become a challenge, particularly in environment where security testing is a routine practice. Mitigation, it is the clear policy and documentation, establishing clear policies regarding the legitimate use of IP spoofing for testing purposes, along with comprehensive documentation. It helps us to ensure that security teams and network admins are aware of authorized activities. When we come to the future trends, the blockchain integration is an emerging trend. So it basically each transaction is recorded in tamper-resistant and transparent manner, reducing the risk of IP spoofing attacks that manipulate or forge addresses. When it comes to the potential benefits, the first one is immutable records. The immutability of blockchain records ensure that once an IP address is recorded, it cannot be altered. The second point is enhanced attribution. So the transparency and traceability offered by blockchain can aid in better attributing network activities. The second point we come to is artificial intelligence security. Nowadays, artificial intelligence can be used anywhere by using AI and ML technologies. We can integrate it with the cybersecurity and help us to train a model that may recognize a pattern of spoofs or pattern of anomalies and later detect on and block it. So the potential benefit is real-time analysis. The model will run side by side in a real-time environment, and as long we train the model and we increase the accuracy, there's a reduction in the false positives. Then we come to the ethical consideration part. The ethical consideration is IP spoofing when employed for unauthorized access to system or networks raises significant privacy concerns. It raises privacy concerns, and mitigation is implementing robust encryption measures and access control is essential to mitigate the privacy risk associated with IP spoofing. The second point is data manipulation. So there's basically one concern in the ethical dimension, that is integrity concern. So IP spoofing used for data manipulation introduces ethical challenges related to data integrity, tampering with information, be it financial records or anything. When we come to responsible disclosure, the ethical concept is transparent communication. So responsible disclosure is a fundamental ethical concept in the cybersecurity community. It emphasizes transparent communication between security researchers and organizations. When we come to mitigation, it's like organizations are encouraged to collaborate with ethical hackers and security researchers to identify and patch vulnerabilities. So the role of ethical hacking is basically it involves simulating cyber attacks to identify vulnerabilities, in systems. So, in the context of IP spoofing, ethical hacking plays a crucial role in proactively identifying weaknesses. When we come to mitigation, it is the continuous testing and training. As long as we test, we just keep on performing tests, we keep on performing training. We just keep on finding a loophole in the system. So we'll be able to fix that loophole by identifying the loophole. So now I would like to conclude my presentation. So in the cybersecurity landscape, our exploration of IP spoofing reveals significant threat and defense strategies. The IP spoofing manipulating source addresses challenges privacy, data integrity, and cybersecurity. Defense strategies like intrusion detection, packet filtering, and encryptions are crucial, demanding continual vigilance due to evolving network dynamics. Emerging technologies like blockchain and AI promise to reshape cybersecurity, introducing complexities to securing interconnected digital ecosystem. Ethical considerations are paramount, emphasizing responsible practices, privacy concerns, data manipulation risk, and ethical hacking underscores the need for the transparent communication, proactive defense, and collaboration. In the ongoing battle against cyber threat, organizations must embrace ethical standards, uphold privacy, and engage in responsible disclosure. Lessons from IP spoofing guide us towards a future where security, ethic, and innovation harmoniously coexist for a resilient and secure digital future. Thank you, ma'am. That's all for the presentation.